The truth is, gambling started controlling my thoughts, my time, and my money. My social life suffered, and my savings disappeared. And that was when I started borrowing money to gamble. That was when I started borrowing money to feed my dopamine rush. Worst of it all, I realized that my gambling addiction did not just affect me. It was affecting people who cared about me. Gambling stopped being a game. Gambling started being my prison. Hi everyone. Welcome to the Recovery Channel. My name is Toski. Peace, love, and abundance to you always. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you my journey from being deeply trapped in gambling addiction to living a free and peaceful life. This is not just my story. This is a message of hope to you or someone you care about. So make sure you stick with me until the end of this video, as I will be sharing with you some powerful resources that will help you or someone you care about to break free from gambling addiction. Now, before I tell you how things got worse in my life because of gambling, let me first of all take you back to where it all started. Because nobody goes into gambling thinking they will get addicted. At least for me, I never knew I would get addicted to gambling. But thank God, I'm no longer who I was some years back. So I was introduced into gambling in what seems to be like an innocent way. A casual bet with friends, it was all fun, and the excitement of winning was stratospheric. And I said to myself that I could stop anytime I want to. But little did I know that this was a seed being planted. The excitement and the dopamine rush of winning made me want to continue betting and gambling. But soon I started losing. And before I started losing, I was on a winning streak, I think a 3 to 4 days winning streak. And in my mind, I was so excited. I thought I've developed a system, to continue winning. And I never knew the losses would start coming. So soon I started losing, and the losses made me, I started chasing my losses. Losing made me want to start chasing my losses. Things didn't stay fun for long, and this is a part that nobody wants to talk about. The betting became more frequent. I started gambling on a daily basis, and the amount of money I used in gambling started increasing. From 1,000 naira to 10,000 naira to 50,000 naira to 100,000 naira and more. I stopped gambling with friends. I started gambling alone. And it was no longer about the fun of gambling. It was about the need to gamble, because I was already losing so much money and I was chasing my losses. So that made me want to increase the amount of money I bet on a single match. I would win a couple of times, but the winnings never lasted. And I would lie to myself that if I can win one last game, if I can win that one last game, I would be able to break even. I would be able to recover all my money back and break even, and then start afresh. But that never materialized. Gambling started controlling my thoughts, my time, and my money. My social life suffered, and my savings disappeared. And that was when I started borrowing money to gamble. That was when I started borrowing money to feed my dopamine rush. And things started getting very stressful for me. And then came a moment that changed everything. The day I hit the rock bottom. For me, the rock bottom was not the amount of money I lost into gambling. The rock bottom was the disappointment, the broken trust, the constant anxiety to keep on gambling. Even when I tried so hard to stop gambling, I couldn't. One day, after a very huge loss, I looked myself in the mirror and I couldn't recognize myself. I was completely lost. And worst of it all, I realized that my gambling addiction did not just affect me. It was affecting people who cared about me. Gambling stopped being a game. Gambling started being my prison. And things were so stressful for me from that point. Most people think recovery from gambling addiction starts when you stop gambling. But for me, my recovery started when I made a very difficult decision. a very powerful and difficult decision. And the decision was to say the truth. That time, my wife was still my girlfriend, and I love her so much, and I didn't want anything to come in between us. You know, when you have a girlfriend that you know in a couple of years I'll be getting married to her, and you wouldn't like anything to come between you and her. So that was the situation that I was, and that made me to become so afraid of opening up to her, because I didn't know how she's going to react to the whole situation. I didn't know how she's going to react, if she's going to get angry and all of that. So it took me weeks and months of contemplating to finally make the decision. And while I was still contemplating, I was still losing money. I was still gambling, and I was losing a lot of money, you know. So one evening I sat her down and I told her everything. I told her about the addiction, the lies, the debt. I told her everything. And to my greatest surprise, she was not even angry. She looked at me and told me that since I'm willing to stop, that she's going to assist me in whatever way she could. So that evening I learned something very important. I learned that shame grows in silence, and healing or freedom comes when you speak up. So that was when my freedom started. That was when I started opening up to her anytime I feel the urge to gamble. And most importantly, I want you to understand that opening up to her was not just the end. That didn't stop the dopamine rush. That didn't stop the urge to gamble. But anytime I felt that urge to gamble, I would always let her know. And I allowed her to control the little money that came into my account. What does life look like on the other side of gambling addiction? The peace is incredible. I sleep better. I have control over my time, my money, my resources. Most importantly, I've rediscovered joy in simple things that no longer require luck and risk to make me happy. If you are still watching this video right now, that means you care either about your recovery or someone else. So here are some resources that can help you take action today. The first thing you need to do is to open up to somebody. You need to open up to somebody that you can have a heart-to-heart talk with, somebody that you feel comfortable with. You have to open up to that person about your gambling addiction. Gambling thrives in secrecy. So once you are able to open up, your road to freedom, your road to recovery has just started. So you have to open up to somebody. That person may be your friend, your close friend, your colleague, your boyfriend or your girlfriend, your husband or your wife, anybody, somebody that you feel comfortable with. I'm not saying you should come out and make video and tell the whole world about your gambling addiction, but you can start by having a heart-to-heart discussion with one person, just one person. Let that person know your struggle, your addiction, and you have to be intentional about your recovery journey. And then the second thing I want you to do is to contact Gamble Aware or Gamble Pause. I've put their description, their web link in the description of this video. Their web link is in the description of this video. So go to the description of this video. You'll see Gamble Pause and Gamble Aware website. So go to their website, contact them. Tell them that you're addicted to gambling and you need help. Gamble Aware and Gamble Pause, they are a non-profit organization that help people that are addicted to gambling. Somebody like you that needs help. So once you contact them, they are going to link you up to a therapist. The therapist is going to help you on your journey to recovery. So you have to be very intentional about your recovery journey. You have to be very sincere with yourself. So once you do those two things, have a heart-to-heart discussion with somebody close to you, and you have to be accountable to that person. You have to be financially accountable to that person. Secondly, you also have to contact Gamble Aware or Gamble Pause. So once you do these two things, your recovery journey has just started. And I can assure you that you are going to break free from gambling addiction. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Let's build a community together. Press the subscribe button, and make sure you also like this video. Press the like button also so that other people can also see this video. Once you press the like button, the YouTube algorithms will take my video to other people that are also addicted to gambling to watch this video and also take the necessary action to break free from gambling addiction. So like this video, subscribe to my channel. Let's build a community together. My name is Toski and this is the Recovery Channel. See you in my next video. Bye.